So let's start with the end in mind, and we'll take a look at Tkachev here. This is McCulloch, very nice, good turnover. So let's back up and take a look at some of this. So clearly he starts in really good handstand position, and then there's a short, small break, his hips, and take a look at the bar as he pulls it away, pushing his chest down into tight arch. Now this is key right here. He gets to the bottom with his shoulders and chest first. Now watch for about 5 frames, his shoulders don't move right here. And that allows him to turn over. So that was all created by this tight tension getting there first. His feet don't come through yet, so they're back here like this. As his shoulders hit the bottom first, then his body can pivot through like this, and thus creating this turnover action here, which everything's going up. Good body tension here, or tension on the bar. And then he can just explode from there because he's created this position here, right here, from which he can throw from. A lot of times you see athletes scooping too early here, and then the tap's going that way, and they can't create this particular turnover that we're talking about right here. Shoulders staying down, toes up, and then from this position, like I said, he can throw really hard and explode. You can start developing these taps even when the athlete's very young. For instance, this guy is 10 years old, got him in the straps and just trying to understand the early push out to a kick. And I was telling him it's kind of like a Muay on parallel bars. Since he does that for level 7, there's a good kick turnover. And then we can see in slow motion, here he goes. And just 1 second. There's that push to a tight arch. You can see, similar to Sam's. And then watch the shoulders stay still for a little while, right there. Pretty good isolation. And then he kicks up. So there's the next step in the tap refinement. We just have him get in the straps and do some small swings and work on that turnover. Good push out, and then tight arch, and try to isolate the shoulders. So there's the push out with tight arch, and then again you'll notice that shoulders stay still for a bit as his body turns over. So he's starting to understand how to isolate his shoulders. Push and turn. Here's another drill to help the athlete understand the shoulder isolation at the bottom. So we just spot him, in this case, to kind of hold his chest still for a moment, and thus allowing him to feel that turnover a little bit more. So stop his chest and then allow his body to turn over, and it helps them to get that feeling. All good. This is a great drill here set up on the tumble track bar to simulate the first part of gaining pressure on the bar to the push out for Tkachev. So you see here, bounce, get pressure, and push. So this is super important to look at. Right here, shift in the wrist, gaining pressure, and then a little break, shoulders and hips, and then you'll see him push the bar forward and then pull it back right here, similar to what we saw with McCulloch's Tkachev. So great drill. And now let's put it all together. Let's take a look at a Tkachev here. That's our giant break, push, scoop, turn. Not bad. Breaking those parts down just a little bit further. Let's take a look here that he gains pressure on top, similar to the tumble track drill. assuming his wrists are flat. And then there's the break and good hard push out right there. Tight arch. Looks pretty good. And let's see how he does on the turnover. Comes through bottom of chest first. And not bad. Shoulders isolating. Could break a little bit more. So that part is okay. Maybe just a little bit more up scoop here. I think that's going to cause him to do a good Tkachev. However, it could be a little bit better if he gets this scoop and this turnover a little bit more right here. And then he could explode off the bar a little bit harder. But overall, pretty good. Now comes the question on whether or not to use a Chinese tap with your athlete on the Tkachev. And I will say this, that once you add that much speed to the Tkachev tap, it makes it more difficult to hold the arch position through to the bottom to create that turnover. So let's take a look here. Here's the Chinese tap, and he's able to isolate his shoulders and hold them down at the bottom and create the turnover in order to do this Liukin. So let's back up, take a look at a few things about this tap. So first of all, right here, there's a long stretch and shoulders kind of stop, which is good. They're able to load up on top of the bar right here. This is important. A lot of times shoulders get too far back over here and they want to be right on top. And thus that allows the push out right here to occur. So the shoulders are breaking along with the hips, and then they can push really hard to that arch and drive shoulders all the way to the bottom. So right here, you can see that his shoulders get there first, chest and shoulders, and then this turnover occurs. It's really, really good. And got to work on that strength a little bit, keep those legs straight. And here goes the lift. So once again, shoulders down first and turn over. And then blocking the shoulders forward and doing that gaining action that Jason referred to in order to complete this Liukin. Good job.